Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Learn This Deck with the Dreaming Way Tarot. And yes, the card we're going to look at today is the Nine of Wands. Now, as Nine of Wands go, this one also is kind of in the familiar territory where traditional imagery goes. So let's just quickly get down to analyzing it. The environment or the background, we have a sort of a lush green lawn meadow kind of an environment, and we also have these eight wands sort of arranged, linearly. I'm sorry, they're stuck in the ground, but they are sort of arranged like a fence or a border or a barrier sort of thing. And in the foreground, the person is a young man sitting on a tree stump, and he kind of looks sad. He's lost in his own thoughts, and he's leaning on what is the ninth wand of this particular image. So basically, this is one guy who looks pretty sad, who looks pretty sort of down on himself, and he's put up these eight wands like kind of a barrier, like a kind of a fence. So that kind of brings us to the symbolism aspect, right? Now, these wands that are arranged like a fence or a barrier, and then this sad looking guy, it kind of, it kind of calls into question, maybe, it kind of brings to mind, rather, not calls into question, it brings to mind, maybe, feeling that, he's had a bad experience, maybe, of some sort. And so he's just, putting up walls or putting up this barrier, like he doesn't want to get hurt again. That's the kind of feeling I got. So when I looked up in the LWB, the meanings were kind of pretty much in line with many of the traditional meanings, which is what I got when I looked at this picture before. But then there was something else. Upright, one of the key phrases was perseverance despite setbacks. Now that is an interesting perspective, that despite all these setbacks, he decides to persevere. He decides to sort of go forward with whatever his plans are. And reverse, doing one's best, but things are getting worse. So that is an interesting point of view, something to sort of think about when you look at this picture and see how that imagery kind of evokes those meanings or those key phrases, right? So what were my keywords? Upright, as I said, he's being guarded after a bad experience, and so he's distancing himself from, whatever is out there. So he's being super careful, he's being super guarded. He's like, just, keep a distance. He's being careful about, how he sort of lets people in his life or in his heart, and so on. But then, when you take this card and you reverse it, this is kind of what happens. These wands now, they'll very likely, the likelihood of them sort of falling down is higher. So that means he's letting down his guard, and he's maybe being a little bit more open. Also, this guy could kind of fall down from his, where he's sitting on the tree stump. So it could also, on the very other end of the spectrum, it could be that he's not being careful where he should be careful, especially when this card comes up like this in the advice position. Go with your intuition, of course, but then it could be either the cards are saying, hey, look, man, be careful, or on the other end, they're like, just, don't be so guarded, let it down, let your guard down, be more open. So go with your intuition, but these are the possible sort of feelings that this card in the reverse could very well evoke. Now, what was the card story? So I got into the head of this guy, and this is what came. It is so hard to open your heart. The moment you do, someone comes along and stabs a knife through it. This is it. No matter how much it hurts to do so, I'm not going to let people get close to me anymore. It is up to me to take care of myself, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Nobody can come close to me unless I am ready. The walls are going up. It is sad, but that's how it is. So he doesn't want to be, that's how it came across to me, like he's being forced to maybe put up these walls because he doesn't want to get hurt. And part of him is sad because of he has to do that, because he's not necessarily the kind of person who likes to put up all these walls. And he's an open heart, he's a warm person, so he's really warm, he's warm hearted, he's a really nice guy. But after having been hurt a couple of times like that, he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to be careful. It's sad, but that's how it is. So that was the sort of story I got. What was the story you got? What were your keywords? Go ahead, take a picture of the card, take a picture of your journal, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, whatever, wherever you like. Use the hashtags Learn This Deck, 901s, and Dreaming with Tarot. And if you really like me, use the hashtag TaroticallySpeaking. The point is, with these hashtags, we can find each other and sort of share our experiences and knowledge with each other, and together we can sort of learn this deck, and we can, sort of have a pool of meanings that we can share with each other. So I will be back again, of course, tomorrow with the 10 of Wands. But in the meantime, you guys be good and learn this deck. Bye now.